Hi, everybody. We are live. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome to the YouTube member live stream. I'm Bill. This is Tobie.
I'm here.
Right. So now we have a new stream time. Hopefully you like it. Right. Our friends in Europe may wind up late, but we'll sort them out as we'll sort you out. All right. Let's welcome who's here. Gian says, I got my tequila and my 420 ready.
Woo!
All right, we do.
I haven't tried that, but if I do 420, I just go to sleep. It wouldn't be a good show. It just makes me sleepy.
You know, we have we like to have fun on our show. Okay, let's see who else is here. Welcoming, right? We have Gian, Baby Whale, Tango FM, Trump Coin.
Oh, sounds like a new member. I haven't heard that one before.
Big Rich here for 6 months. Welcome, sir. Reggie Classics. He says, I got some coins today on the dip. Swarms, ETH, Pepe. You know, that thing where we did for Sui with the machine came out really good. Remember we told you about a buy a BTFD window?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's working good, right?
Fabulous.
Reggie Classic says, I'm always up late. 12:06 here in Manchester. All right, sir. Well, we definitely appreciate you staying up late for us.
Yeah.
All right. So some breaking news from the Eagle King that I wanted to run by you, if it's okay. So the Orange Man
sharing?
No.
Oh, you're not.
So the Orange Man has a dinner.
Yeah.
On the 22nd, right?
Uh-huh.
And that's 3 days before the Bitcoin conference.
I know, how exciting.
And this just leaked out that Wall Street is quietly gearing up for a huge boom in Bitcoin and crypto. Okay. So. Which means our buy in May and stay prophecy is intact.
Well, it looks like it might, that it might work out. It was interesting.
All right. And then while the boss here is doing whatever she's doing, early in the stream, I will throw this.
I forgot something in my drink.
I will throw. We have PowerPoint for inevitabilities like this in the event of a drink malfunction. So this is the roadmap from the GANN model. Okay. Bitcoin starting near 95 with the breakout rallies in late May. So that's the Orange Man's dinner. Okay. Mid-June and July are also big Bitcoin buy points. The July lunar cycle points to 108K with a corrective move back to 90. So
I don't think it's going to go back to 90.
All right. Well, good. That's why we have. It
could, but it could maybe last for a day, right? So
like a flash crash type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So ETH.
Because I think this 98 that we're at now, this is the new normal bottom. Like it's really not going to go
below here.
Yeah. We're going to bounce around 100K for a while.
Yeah. And no one's talking about 100K except for the Orange Man at his dinner and this leak on Wall Street. So let me just make sure I've got the right PowerPoint here. I'm sharing. Okay. So ETH can go back to 2,200 during June's altcoin surge. Okay. So again, this is a machine reaffirming what Tobie has said, which is Bitcoin first, followed by ETH.
No.
Solana. Okay, yeah, I know. It's the machine wanted to buy Solana today.
Yeah.
All right. And you were loving that. We talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, Solana aligns with Bitcoin strength.
It's probably gonna hit 220 really soon. So
right. So Big Rich just was talking about how, he bought Solana and then staked it for a 12% interest rate.
Nice.
On Kraken, which is the Canadian exchange. Okay, so Solana, according to the machine, has, it can go along with Bitcoin, but it has its own solo bullish periods in mid-June and even in late July.
Yeah, this summer.
Okay.
And I think that's the meme coins we talked about on the last show.
Right.
Yeah.
So, the machine thinks 180. Tobie just told you what her target was.
Oh, I think 220 or at least we'll see relatively quickly and then above. I want to see, just like I'm waiting for the Bitcoin 120 break, that's the real resistance. And then it'll just be like whatever after that. Right. And so it's, it's the same for Solana, but it's 220, you know, and I think it'll actually go up there, but then I think it's going to have a lot more course corrections and deeper course corrections than Bitcoin.
Well, which we had in the Solana roadmap with which the Patreon guys got. Okay, so Solana at 220. That's the member live stream for today. We'll see you next time. No, I'm kidding. Okay, XRP, just sharing the screen on XRP, which everybody for whatever reason gave up on. I don't understand this. XRP now at 220. Okay, buy strength readings in isolation. So XRP can move on its own. 280 or $3 is not off the table. Be somewhat cautious in late June. So XRP $3 is out there on the table. And we've got more stuff on portfolios. We have more stuff on portfolios. Now, one of the things that seemed kind of funny was that the machine was also talking about Cardano. Do we have, I mean, you know, there is clearly a case for Cardano to be, right? Do you have any thoughts on Cardano?
For me, it feels like it's a much later mover.
Okay.
Right. I still think so. If you like Cardano, we're probably at a low that it's not going to go much lower then, but I think it's going to be later picking up steam. So again, what you do with that is, you know, up to you. But right now, I would rather get more into XRP than Cardano.
Right. And also today was a big SUI buy window.
Oh, yeah.
I don't, you know, I think that you were okay with that.
Oh, yeah.
Grandpa Keeter says happy Tuesday to Tobie. Reggie Classics says Bitcoin ETF inflows have picked up massively.
Nice.
You know, somebody says R108 chatter from the computer is similar to what you're looking at, and that's how you use the stuff for. And Reggie Classic says he agrees on Cardano. Okay, so let's talk about the Orange Man and the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. A lot of people, you're the one who got me into Milk Road, right? We talked about this. You know, when he signed the executive order on Strategic Reserve, they had 60 days to come up with a plan, right? That was 2 days ago, right? And that plan has not been released yet. So, I mean, are they coming out with something that's really going to move the market near the end of May, or is the market going to move for, you know, on its lonesome, right? Is it a strategic reserve catalyst, or do we have another reason? We have lots of reasons to be bullish. But.
Right. Yes.
All the above.
Yeah.
Next question. Okay.
Well, if the main thing I'm worried about, because I keep telling you, the thing that's going to push it is these multiple factors.
Right.
It's not just one thing, right? But if, you know, if he says something, you know, around, and I think he will, he's kind of off the tariffs thing. It hasn't been very popular for him. So he'll go on to something that makes it more popular. And I said this, you know, a few weeks ago, right? So to me, the most likely thing is the crypto and the strategic reserve. Now, actually implementing all of the strategy, because this is the government and they move really slow, could be much later stage. So there could be people, we could have another little bout over the summer of, you know, the government didn't pump my bags, you know.
Right. That's July.
Yeah. And, but it's not going to be huge and catastrophic. And I think that's because it's going to be offset by the ETF and the inflows, which, you know, I guess we're seeing right now. Right. And so, just in general, in the future, Bitcoin is not going to have those wild swings. That will keep it a lot more stable. But there'll probably be another dip. But if, you know, so if you need to add more, that's a great time to do it. But what we saw earlier, you know, in February and March,
70 something.
That's it. We're not going back to the 70 something. I think 90s probably would be another decent low, right? Which is what we have now. So You know what I mean?
Right,
so buy
right.
now
So
or
even
buy
if it
later
goes
or
up
whatever.
and comes back down, which was the hallmark.
This is the new low for now until we hit that 120. That's the magic point that I keep waiting for to happen, and it's going to happen this year, because once it hits 120, then this, I guess, is a little bit about psychology, how it feels to me, and also the energy, the way that it works. But it's like once it hits 120, people are like, well, what's 200 then? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, right,
yeah.
right.
And so it's a psychological breaking point. Until then, we're going to waver around 100, but it could be, we could hit this month, we could hit 120. I think it'll also go right back down, to somewhere in the 90s by July. But it doesn't matter. Once it breaks that, then everything shifts. So my point of view is, if you can buy it below 120, because 120 will be the new very low. So then that's what you should do. Because once it hits 120, we will never see these prices again. We just won't. So you can wait for the July dip.
Okay, so Solana 120, and you better get it while it's hot at 93, and then now we really will see you next
I was
week.
thinking of Bitcoin.
No, right, okay.
Yeah.
No, but that's...
Well, also Solana too, right, yeah.
Right, so is staking on Solana and ETH worth it? Is it better than just letting it sit? Okay, all right, so staking is not my game. I've done it before. If you're going to stake, make sure you stake somewhere reputable.
Yeah.
Like Kraken or Coinbase, but still not investment advice. You don't have your control over crypto. I think in this case, where like the Tobies and the big riches of the world, particularly Tobie, is expecting huge upside, if they're giving you a 12% annual return on your Solana, you're affecting like printing your own Solana as it goes higher. Now,
yeah.
The thing you have to be careful about staking is sometimes they require you to lock it up.
Yeah.
Like sometimes,
you lose some flexibility. So, I mean, for me, the thing that makes the most sense for me for staking is Bitcoin. Just because it's not going to have the huge volatility. It's something like, I think of it as like a savings account. I'm not really touching it. I just add more when I can. So if you can make interest on that, that's great. Again, like Bill says, make sure you find a reputable company. For me, it makes sense because I'm not going to touch that money. I don't need to move it anyplace else. So right. I might as well put some interest on it.
I saw an unbelievable article that they're giving up on Bitcoin DeFi, which is, DeFi run on Bitcoin, interest rates on Bitcoin. I thought it was crazy banana pants. Felix thinks we
silly wabbit.
Felix thinks we need QE, and we do, right? Printing money.
Oh,
right. That the Fed's having some trouble holding things together. I don't know if you have any comment about that in government spending. I know you've weighed in on the Fed. Government spending is eventually going to come back into play because Elon failed, right? When they started vandalizing Teslas and Tesla stock crashed along with everything else, and his stock crashed more, he's gone, right?
He's not gone.
He's not gone. He'll be back.
No, this is all silly games that people are playing. Well, I think what I already said, and I think I've been saying this since last year, right? It was about, we're going to see tax rebates, tax incentives, a lot more printing money. The government is not really worried about debt. And I did a whole rant on that in one of the shows about how debt for governments is different than it is for people, and so yeah, they will start printing money. They just will, because they're going to have to. The most interesting thing that I'm paying attention to in the news right now is, because I've said since last summer, I'm like, what we're doing with the metaverse and crypto, all this technology is similar to what?
I'm listening.
You're like giving the side eye to something.
No, go ahead.
It's similar to like the space race, and this will become very, very apparent more and more. There'll be a lot of competition between companies, and right now countries. Right now, the two biggest countries are the U.S. and and China. And I think that that's going to be a big push. And that could be where his narrative switches to where nobody's going to care about the strategic reserve anymore because it's dumb to care about it, in my opinion. You know, I think the big swing is not going to be about, I think the strategic is good. The strategic reserve is good because it's a way of governments showing, all the governments who do it, not just the US government, showing that, yeah, crypto is serious and we back it, which will make ordinary people feel more secure in it. And so it'll bring more ordinary people who have not been in the market before. So that's one thing, you know, but just like with everything else, with the price raises and everything else, it's not one element. It's all of these elements coming together that are creating this move. And what's really going to push it this fall is going to be the bank stuff, you know, and these entities, whatever they are,
right? Bank custody, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's a crypto bill that the left is fighting that, you know, if they pass the crypto and there's two bills. There's a crypto is legal bill, and then there's a stablecoin bill. Supposedly, if they pass both, then banks would be blessed to get into the market.
The banks will get into the market, even if the laws don't pass. They will find a workaround, and it's just going to happen. It's just going to happen.
Okay,
so people can fight it, which will just lengthen the thing that, you know, longer. And I think the people on the left who are fighting it, I don't know, I really don't know. I don't watch news, right? But I think they're fighting it just because Trump wants it, you know, which is such a dumb policy for people to do. But it is the nature of politics nowadays, right? It's
right.
Like people don't make sense anymore to me. They're not very logical. But I mean, I think it's, I don't know. I don't understand politics much anymore. It's just gotten so crazy. But eventually it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Because this is going to happen. And so I'm just here to tell you what's going to happen. And I don't necessarily know exactly the thing. And I don't think it's ever going to be one thing. It's this confluence of events, of energy pushing towards something happening, right?
Okay.
That's just how energy works, you know? It's like, it's not like a row of dominoes, right? Where it's this event and then this event. And do you know, it doesn't work that way. None of life works that way, right? Everything that happens to us in life and the energy surrounding everything, it's always these little triggers that combine together make big waves, right? And so every big wave is not just one thing, it's a confluence of events that make for something remarkable. And we're at that period of time. That's why I was so excited last year. I'm like, oh my God, you guys, 2025 is going to be amazing, because there's just, I can feel all these little elements coming together that's going to create this giant tsunami. And anybody who's in it now, you know, you have to be. I mean, I wish I could convince more people to get in, because it will save you in the future. It will save you, especially younger people.
Okay, well, I'm sure this crowd has no problem. You know, Hobby says, let's go. No problem understanding that, you know, the bus is leaving. The bus is leaving. And this may be open to non-members because I may have pushed the wrong button today. But that's okay. That's okay. We welcome everybody. It looks like mostly members on the stream right now, but we welcome everybody.
We've done that so many times.
I know. Well, you know, they're in for a real treat today. Let me share Caroline's storyteller. Just catching up with a few things. Much better for awake. Wow, Caroline was watching the morning show in New Zealand. Wow. All right. So yeah, they're loving us in America and Asia, and we may get some nasty grams from Europe, but we'll see what we can do about helping everybody.
I think what we could do, you know, an earlier show maybe one day so we can get those people. Are you sharing the screen?
No, not yet. I wanted to talk about our portfolio. Or do you want me to save that for when you need to
Why don't you
refill?
save that?
Okay. All right. So for anybody here that's new, say
it one more time, Bill.
I'm sorry. Okay. I'm trying.
For anybody here who's new.
I'm trying to get the banter bubbles.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can show, like basically we're going to the next level on this. Okay. We have a member question coming up.
Oh, good.
Okay. So these are the coins that we like. What does Tobie think about Swift using XLM in November? Okay. So let me come off the screen share and let's talk about this.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of coins. I think I memorized it. It's called ISO 20022. It's some sort of policy. There are a lot of American-made cryptos that are involved in this, and it basically means Uncle Sugar has to start using more technologically efficient networks to move money around.
Oh, nice.
So XRP, Stellar, XLM, Algorand.
Beautiful.
I think Hedera is in there, but a lot of boomer cryptos, as they call them, are in this group.
Yeah.
And, they're asking about, like if they get it going, like here it is.
Okay.
Okay. The Eagle King is always on it. So happy to have the Eagle King back in the game. No, I'm not sharing this yet.
Okay.
Because I'm just hoping that we can just get the list. So it's XRP, Stellar, XLM, Cardano, Hedera, okay, XDC, Algorand, and QNT, Quant are like the biggest cryptos in there. So basically the standard is financial institutions must allow ISO standards to smooth communications and secure funds transfers.
Fabulous.
Okay, so this is supposed to be implemented in November.
Fabulous.
And I think we have, people.
So there's another catalyst, for the crypto market, right? And that's what I said. I think people have had a way of looking at crypto as, because it's an alternative that, like you've said for a long time, you keep looking for the bad thing to happen,
right.
like with the dollar or whatever.
Right.
And it's really not that. It's not. It's these good things that will make the system better in general that are all coming through the blockchain, Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know not to bring up the apocalypse things like India and Pakistan literally going to war, like literally. But I know not to talk about
it doesn't
those
matter.
Things. Right. I know not to ask because you tell me the same thing I did every other time I want to bring up something from the apocalypse. DC Precise. Our friends are in the house. I clearly pressed the wrong button, so hopefully our members are okay with new guests today as we demonstrate all of our magical new toys that we have.
From that chart that you just read off of. The
PowerPoint you mean?
No,
or
the one you just read.
Oh, you want
the article?
You want to share ISO?
Yeah, let's look at that. Let's focus on it because that's not something that we've talked about before, and we can look at the charts of all those coins.
Okay, so sharing the screen. So we were about to look at QNT, but Tobie hates TradingView. So what
I don't hate it. There's just a lot of
It's not your
lines and colors.
It's not
your confuse me.
It's not your number one favorite. Okay, so let's pull up. So let's pull up QNT. Okay. All right. So for those that don't know, this is Tobie TA, which is different than
normal people.
What normal people do.
Everything I do is different from normal
so this is
people.
QNT.
Okay.
1 year.
Okay.
Right? And this is max QNT.
Yeah, it's got a nice rounding bottom there. So looks good.
So good to go with this?
Yeah, I think, I'm just going to, I just want to see all the charts so I can see.
What they look like?
Yeah,
okay.
what they look like.
Okay, so here's XRP.
XRP is going to be my favorite. I don't know why, but it just keeps coming to me.
Okay, here's XRP.
That's such a nice, stable, big old jump top, right?
Right.
I just really like it.
Okay. Here's Stellar, which is what one of our viewers was asking about.
Yeah, it's a good Stellar.
Okay.
That one's not bad either. you know, in a way, it went lower. What I like about XRP is that it didn't really go below its first bottom, right? And this one, you know, but we're seeing another rounded bottom. So I think any of these projects are great.
Right. This is called Head and Shoulders.
Yeah.
Right. You know, three pimples and then you pop up.
Yeah.
For anybody that's new, that's more Tobie. That's Tobie TA. Right. So we have, you know, some different views, some different ways of doing things. Okay, this is Algorand. You know, a lot of the made in America cryptos look the same. Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, if you
except for XRP.
Except for XRP.
XRP looks so much stronger, and I think that's why I kind of like it better. But again, all of these projects, they all look the same. They all look like they're ready to pop. We know, you know, there's this compliance thing coming this fall. So
BTFT for sure. By the dip.
Oh.
Right.
Oh, because it's not.
It's just not
a private show.
Yeah, it's not.
That means I can't drink as much tequila as I normally
you
would.
probably can. I don't know if we'll
Darn.
I don't know. We'll flip a coin later to see.
Do I get another shot?
If we're converting this back behind the paywall.
As long as I get to take a nap tomorrow. I don't have a heavy schedule, so that's good.
Okay, Tone. Look at this. T-Bone Quinn. So we got people like randomly joining.
Oh wow.
Who is the hottie? Okay, that would be
Bill. That's Bill.
Yeah, I'm clearly the hottie.
I mean, look at his nice shirt.
Yeah, clearly I have great taste in shirts, although I don't necessarily do my wardrobe.
It is your favorite shirt. I've noticed you wear it a lot.
Right. Yeah, it works well. Tobie is the hottie. Okay, and yeah, so some guy. I don't know.
Just randomly.
Should we say what the one guy said, or should we not say that?
I don't know. What did the one guy say?
Well, the one guy said I don't know. I clicked because of
the boobs, but I stayed for the crypto.
Right.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah. Somebody said that. Right. So welcome. DC Precise wanted us to look at XDC.
Okay.
So if we're off the reservation here, we're off the reservation.
Let's.
This is what I get for making streams in the middle of the night. I clicked the wrong button. But hey, by the way, for anybody who's new, this is what we do in the YouTube member area. We do have portfolio picks. We are unveiling something kind of radical today for Tobie to review or not review, or for me about one. Tobie gets.
We do, yeah. I mean, for those of you who are in questions, we charts a lot. Go over our portfolio strategies, and it's kind of fun. Bill and I, you know, and you get asked questions, which is fun. If you're lucky, I don't think we're going to do picks today since we're wide open. But and we just did them. We'll do it on the next show on Thursday. On Thursday, we'll go through. I'm expecting some movement this week, so we'll see. It'll be a good time. Look at my banter bubbles and do some picks. But we can look at what we've been talking about in the banter bubbles if you want to.
Right. Well, we've got the machine. I think we lost our connection there for a second.
Okay.
I'm hoping that we're back. Okay. So I'm trying to get XDC up. And we have somebody asking for QNT.
Oh yeah. I did want to go through.
No, I'm saying PEAQ.
Oh, not QNT. Okay,
we may be done with screen sharing because whatever it is, the button in Restream is not working. Okay, so we definitely did QNT. Okay, I don't know what happened to our screen share button. Okay.
Maybe if I drink more tequila. Let me use my psychic powers.
Right. So we lost the screen share button. All right. So until I can get the screen share button back,
we can't look at any charts. Sorry.
Right. So charts are temporarily off, but we can discuss. We can discuss our portfolios. Right. Do you want to discuss this? Okay. So we have picks. We have a variety of picks that you can go through. And then we had our model sort out like what our top picks are. So out of like 25 coins, Neural, Render, which Big Rich will be happy about, Tau, Fetch, that's artificial intelligence token, Ton, Ohm as a value investment play.
Big one, yeah.
Right.
The minute it dropped, I'm like, yes, please give me more.
Right, which is surprising because no one's talking about that.
I know, people are crazy.
ETH, SUI, Cardano, and Bitcoin, they're the top tier coins, right? And then the tier 2 coins, which is more speculative, right? Kernel, Orderly, Prompt, Bio, STO.
Is that Story, STO?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That one I think is really undervalued, but really volatile. PAL is probably, I think, the most stable for me on this list. It's the easiest one for me to go, yes, please. But I've liked PAL for a really, really long time. I also like OLAS, but these are all good.
Right. OLAS, POKT, Mocha, and somebody had brought up Syrup earlier. Okay.
That's interesting. So even if Eagle King sends you something, you can't...
can't share screen.
That's weird.
So we had restream issues earlier today. All right, people, we're just going to have to take our word for it. We have Cr0w By Virtuals. So we'll look at the chart and we'll tell you about it.
You can't see it.
Since we can't see it, but you'll have to just take our word for it. Okay, so here's Cr0w, and we have to look at it this way because the Eagle King finds the symbols for it. So it's CR and then the number 0 W. So Cr0w. Okay, so this is an AI agent on virtuals. Okay.
Does it have utility?
That's a good question.
What's the max on it?
What's the what?
Max on it.
Okay. So this looks like everything else. I don't know about the utility.
What's the date?
This came out in December.
Okay.
So this came out. I can try to pull it up here.
See.
Okay, we have a new loyalty badge member. Hi, welcome to the show.
Yay.
Yeah, and for anybody who's here, this is what we do on a regular basis. So please feel free to join us as we get everyone's portfolio straightened out.
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff that we're overviewing today is all will be put in a report with deep technical analysis too. Right.
Right. So yeah, it's going to be involved. So there'll be PDFs. Obviously, we're doing it here for our members, but there will also be PDF documents of reports in the Patreon store.
Yeah, for those of you who are not members, maybe if your preferred form is everything that we talk about, Bill does these beautiful in-depth PDFs that are available in the store.
Right. So I mean, we do the video version, and unfortunately in YouTube, given that it's YouTube, there's nowhere to put PDFs. So just so you know, right? Cr0w is an AI agent, providing crypto spot futures analysis and alerts.
Ooh, that's interesting.
So, AI-based DeFi.
They don't have a website, huh?
They do, but it looks like trading.
Okay.
It looks like an exchange when I went to it.
Okay.
Okay. So the bottom line is there, working without the screen share, we like Cr0w.
It's interesting.
It's interesting. Okay. I don't know if that means we like it, but it's interesting.
We could flirt with it, maybe.
Flirting. Okay.
Remember our strategy for those of you who are new, which we guess we have some people on here today.
Yeah, no, we have new things, and the Eagle King.
Flirting, dating, and married. That's how I look
at coins, right? That's part of our sector analysis. Yeah, and then YouTube just gifted loyalty badge membership, so they get the $4.99 memberships.
Nice.
Bud74, Julio, Hobby, Tybor, and Rico. I think they give you these things based on how much you interact with the site. So if you've been watching the videos,
nice,
right, they hook you up. Joe is here, Caroline Storyteller, Patriot Caveman, Joe Hackman will join the Patreon again soon. Had to pay my taxes. Bro, I totally get it. You can join the membership or shop in the store. Like I said, the store is loaded, right? YouTube's a great one-stop shop to get picks because not only do we do portfolios, but we do
live picking,
right? And then, you know, our model will be organizing Tobie's work, right? And that will be something we'll discuss here. And if you want the full Monty, like the PDF to keep on your desk, if you're doing your own research, that's over in the Patreon store. Again, I can't put PDFs in YouTube, but we will be sure.
Well, we cover most of it in YouTube. It's just that the chart analysis and all that kind of stuff, the really in-depth,
like the dates,
weekly stuff. Yeah, that's all in the store.
Right, because the model.
So we cover kind of what's in the store, but it just goes into a lot more detail if you like the charts and the analysis and going week by week. That's all available in the store, right?
Right on.
And I like that about like. It's almost like choose what's important to you, because I think you're doing some individual coins too.
Right. Yeah, we're doing individual coins.
Really fun.
You know, we have it in the PowerPoint. We're deciding on the fly as to whether we're going to be nice and give people, you know, like we've even narrowed this down. Like we gave them the picks, but I guess
let's just cover May.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got May there.
I have May. So the tier 1 picks for May are Neural, Render, and Tau.
No, Ton,
excuse me. Okay. Neural is buy on May 6th, sell at the end of May. Render is buy on May 10th, sell at the end of May. Ton coin is buy May 15th, sell June 3rd.
Or if you're like me, buy all of them and not sell them anytime.
And just...
and just hold on to them.
Buy in May and go shopping and just forget about it. Not touching it. Okay, tier 2. Okay, the speculative plays. Cr0w by mid-May, sell end of May. Prompt, buy yesterday. Sell at the near Memorial Day before the Orange Man's dinner. And Story, STO, by May 7th, sell at the end of May.
I mean, my favorite in that is of course Story, right? But I would be, I mean, the nice thing is, I guess the sell thing, I just have a different brain the way I think about, because I think Story is going to be huge next year. So I don't want to have to fuss with all of this stuff. Right.
And here's how again, this is all going to be in the reports, but obviously we can do it now. In some ways, it's better to do it now. When we say sell, that could actually mean watch out for another dip, right? In other words, like you buy it now, and then the next dip is in May.
Yeah.
For the tier 1 stuff that
sometime
we like.
after May 31st.
Right. And then for members on Thursday, we can go over.
So it doesn't mean you have to sell. It just means that could be a turning point in the energy where you might watch for another dip. Right. So, and I kind of agree with all of these. I mean, my big thing, and those of you who have been with us for the past month or so, you've heard me say, but it's big AI now. That's the big narrative, and DeFi is starting to pick up. So if, the best thing would have been to be able to get into those when everybody else was like, oh, it's crypto winter. That would be a great time to get into these narratives.
Yeah.
But meme coins are going to be big this summer, which will be fun for those of you who like meme coins. So we'll probably be talking a lot about meme coins over the summer. And I know Eagle King used to be really good about finding good.
Yeah. Eagle King is clearly a meme coin expert.
Yeah.
This is GLDS. Okay. On Solana, Galdes. Okay. Play, train, deploy, exchange.
Another AI. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you know
it's
this.
It's a nice looking website.
Create AI from scratch.
Ooh.
I don't know if you know this, but OpenAI, ChatGPT guys, they wanted to go public and get a lot of money and build Skynet. And somebody ixnayed their program about being a for-profit entity, right? They had to go back to being their original mission, which to me means they have Skynet in a test tube. They just can't get the hardware. And for me, it's all the more reason to get into decentralized AI. And I know I don't have to sell you on that. You've been saying that for God knows how long. So we like GLDS. You know, Tobie's
when did it come out?
It came out in January.
January, yeah.
Right. So yeah, we dig it.
Yeah. So look at this. Yeah, and look at where the current bottom is. The current bottom is.
You talking about here?
No, current, like right now.
Right now.
Yeah, is still above the previous.
Right.
high.
So it's making. Yeah. Tobie's telling you it's making higher lows.
Yeah.
Okay. So buy the dip. Stefan is asking. So buy the dip and go for a mill coin. Or, yeah, okay. Well, let's
mill coin. What's a mill coin?
I don't know. Okay. So we're strongly in favor of buying the dip. Like I said, you know, there are going to be dips in June. There's definitely going to be a huge dip at the end of July, folks. Tobie has made herself clear that, you know, it's BTFD. So again, Patriot Caveman joining the loyalty member badges. We appreciate that, sir, very much. You know, like I said, we know people may be a little wrecked, but feel free to come join us because this thing's going to another level when we can organize Tobie's banter bubbles stuff.
Oh yeah, we'll do banter bubbles on Thursday.
Right.
When we do
right.
And which, you know, and y'all know that the banter bubbles is like my favorite thing to do, right?
Right.
Especially when we're at the best time for me to look at the bubbles is a low dead spot like we had February and March. It was a lot of fun. But even more critical is when things start to rise. So because we're expecting even more momentum this month, closer maybe now to the end of the month, right?
Right.
So I think something's going to happen in the next few days. It feels like 3 to 7 days, right? And so that's a great time when the energy starts moving to look at what's moving first, right? And I think it'll still be AI. Probably see some meme coins on there. So, you know, if Eagle King finds anything interesting with meme coins, because it is going to be a meme coin summer.
Yeah, I know. We know how much you like meme coins.
All right, share with us.
Right. So for anybody who's not a YouTube member, there is a link down below. There's also this QR code. And to be completely honest with you, based on what this new model is coming out, even though you're already a member, and of course we appreciate your business deeply, we also strongly recommend Patreon. And if not, visit the Patreon store because the PDFs on all these reports with the timing and the organization. It's
amazing. Bill has put so much work into it. And he's shown me some of the reports, and it's amazing. It's like what I do, but I'm more big picture, and this is more detailed, right? You know, the way you go into even weekly analysis is
right. And then you
fabulous.
Were also digging it. It's not like there isn't confluence because we think that's the power in it. Like,
yeah, I mean, it seems to be, you know, it seems to be aligning with everything I've been talking about, but I do like that it has a lot more detail. So,
right. Patriot Caveman, bless his heart. He's wrecked. He's down 6 figures, but if I don't sell, it'll come back.
Yes.
Right. Tobie always says you don't lose money if you
don't sell at the bottom.
Right.
That is the wrong time. Because here's what we know. You know, y'all have to be believers, right? We're building the future. We are building the future, and it's always rocky. Like, think about when people wanted to go to the moon, right? Then I think there was a bunch of crashes. I mean, I don't know. I
know. The Apollo 3 guys got, you know, I know you don't like the apocalypse, but of course I remember the apocalypse stuff. There were 3. They built a faulty door handle. They didn't put a door handle inside the spacecraft. It caught on fire, and 3 guys.
Yeah,
didn't make it, but that didn't deter them.
It's really sad. It's really sad, but yeah, that's when you're introducing new technology. There's always going to be rough spots, you know. And I'm really, you know, sorry about your loss, but again, it's like, you know, if you got in at the high, which You probably didn't. So, because when people like to say, "Oh, I lost this much," typically those are not people who lose large amounts of money. They were in way before, right? I mean, there's very few people that come in at a high and buy gigantic amounts of it, right? So you can reframe your thinking, because you might, I've lost a bunch in crypto multiple times, and then I just get it all back. So I don't really pay much attention to it, not to minimize your suffering, but really, if you hold on, you will be rewarded. The people who lose are the people who jump ship when it's at the bottom.
Right. Stefan says buy at the bottom. Patriot Caveman said scared money don't make money.
You can't ride the bull with the diaper.
Right. Tango wants a SUI price prediction for the end of the year.
Oh, cool. Let's pull up the chart. Normally I try to time my drink refreshes with screen sharing. Can you share screen yet? Or is it still on?
Yeah, we had problems with Restream this morning. By the way, there is a SUI report in Patreon. I think it's got everything except the year-end price target, because I only went out 3 months. Okay. Basically, that report was about as bullish on SUI
I love SUI.
and it was clearly like buy the dip.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think.
Oh my God!
We're gonna do a price prediction.
So we have a super chat on a member stream.
Nice.
on Solaxy. Presale passes 26 million. Interest in Solana Layer 2.
Ooh.
So Tobie said, "Ooh, that's the no screen share reaction."
I'm so sorry we can't share the
screen. Yeah, it's so messed up. But people are just gonna have to listen to us talk today.
They're gonna have to believe me.
Grandpa Keeter loves Patreon. Okay, SUI price prediction for the end of the year. Okay, so this is.
Bring me up the full.
Okay, so this is the complete
SUI
history of SUI chart.
Okay, it's down.
Okay, May 21st. Okay, it
It
came out May 21st. The low was 38 cents. The recent high off the Orange Man Euphoria was $5.30.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Okay, so now just show me the 3 months. Timing is a little bit more tricky, y'all. So, okay.
Yeah, so this smoked from 250.
When was that?
Recently.
Yeah.
That was April 19th. As soon as they declared crypto winter, SUI went straight up.
Went crazy. Yeah. I think by the end of the year?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll double that first high. Yeah.
So $10?
Whatever it is.
Okay. So this high, you mean?
No, on the chart we were just looking at. But I think that's the same one. There. Yeah.
Okay, so double 370. So $7 is the upside price prediction.
And it could be a lot higher than that. I think I'm being a little bit conservative. I'm really big on SUI since it came out last year.
Right.
So yeah, I easily double.
You were on SUI. Duchess of DeFi got all the credit for SUI, but you were on it before her.
I'm on it before most people, but
right,
that's okay. I'm a secret.
That's right. Right. So Stefan gives us the super chat. Big Rich says DCA lowers the stress. Right. Eagle King DCA. Showing his super chat. Yeah. Dollar cost average. Buy
yes.
every time it goes down.
Yes.
Yeah. Big Rich is like the king of that. Okay. Here's Solaxy pre-sale.
Yeah. So they're going public. I think I did read about this.
Right. Aims to be the first layer 2 scaling solution. Okay. It's the latest, greatest improvement to Solana.
Nice.
Okay.
I think I did see an article about that. I didn't read the whole thing, but aren't aren't they trying to go public with it, or what are they doing?
Yeah, we don't know if the token
they
is
say
coming out yet.
pre-sale-
Pre-sale means that basically a select group of people get to buy the token before it comes out.
Okay.
Okay, that's what this is. Okay.
So when do they come out?
I don't know. So the Solaxy pre-sale is live. So, the question is, I think someone's asking, should I?
I like it.
You like it?
Well, look at those cool retro 70s graphics too.
Right. Sometimes on the show, sometimes our decision making is very unique here. But
I know I'm very unorthodox anyway, so you just have to get used to it because it's all just what I feel. But so one thing that I did, can I tell a story from my past?
Please.
It's not a bad story.
Oh, go ahead, rock it. Rock it.
Yeah. So I had a friend a long time ago that was huge into sports betting in Vegas, right?
Right.
Mostly football was the big thing, right? And on a lark once, I know nothing about football, really nothing. And on a lark once, he let me place a bet, with his bookie and, on the team that I liked, which was not the team that he liked. And I did so well. I did it multiple times. He said that I had near an 80% success rate picking the winning teams. And it was all because I don't know anything about football. I liked the helmets and the uniforms. That was
Well, yeah, I mean, and we can do sports betting on the show. No. We can do whatever on the show. When it's
don't ask me to do that.
Right, I'm not asking you to do that.
Crypto makes more sense for me. I feel more about it because I'm in it, right?
Right. So, well, yeah, I mean,
but it was interesting. But that's the way my visual thing works, right?
Grandpa Keeler says, went to the bathroom. Did we talk about AINTIvirus?
No, we can talk about AINTI right now.
Right. So AINTI is working on a new website. It's not out yet. I can try to pull up the price chart for you to look at.
I'm really feeling, y'all, like this is going to be a fairly dull summer for AINTI. But look, it keeps struggling to push up. That's so beautiful. On the left-hand side of the screen. Oh, no, you just moved it. Doop. Yeah. So there. Okay, stop. Yeah. So after that deep low, go slowly to the left and up?
Okay.
There.
5 cents?
Yeah.
Okay. So 5 cents next for AINTI. The bigger the base, the higher in the space.
And then it's probably going to hold it for a while. And then I see somewhere around the end of the year, it going back up to its previous highs. But a lot of these coins, with these new and small cap coins, there is a pattern, y'all. And it's jump, drop, jump, drop. I'm sure Bill has a much better market terminology for this. And then it's a slow, long bottom, and then a climb back up, and then,
Right.
That's very, very normal for new coins, right?
Right. And Tobie will like this, is that one of the things that the model spit out was that, GANN said that if a market has a certain energy to do a move, that energy can return. That energy that made that move doesn't go away.
Yes.
Energy is neither created or destroyed.
Yes, exactly. And the other thing too, it can fade away though, because it can be moved to something else. What I like about what AINTI is doing is that they're trying to keep the momentum going by coming out with new products all the time. Where you'll see the fade away thing a lot is going to be in meme coins, because so like you said, energy doesn't go away, but it can fade or move to something else, right? So when the people who are involved in the project, and I think XRP is a great example of this, boy, they struggle. And they're really, the people who went into XRP a long time ago are going to be really, really happy in the long run. But they've really, been fighting the good fight for a long time.
Right.
And so to me, like the last 2 years, especially for XRP, have been this huge suppressed energy, so that when that's released, boom, right? So if we see the same thing with AINTI, right, where they keep coming out with product and improving and doing all that stuff, but the ceiling's not going up on the price much, right? That's actually a good thing, because that resistance, when it blows, will, right? I'm sure you have market talk for that.
No. GANN actually, you would love this. I don't know. I saved the quote in one of the reports.
Okay.
GANN says that when you do this basing process, the weighting, GANN called it spiritual development.
Oh, cool.
So the holders, if they do their spiritual development, in other words, the bigger the base, the higher in the space, but energetically with spiritual development, the bigger the turn up. Yeah. Right. And GANN says
that's why I'm in love with XRP. Those people have they've done the work.
Right. They've suffered. Right.
They've suffered. And when it comes online, it's going to come online big.
Right. And I've got
kind of like Bitcoin did, years ago.
Right. And for AINTIvirus, believe it or not, again, Confluence, right? 40 million market cap is clearly achievable in 2025 and much higher later. Yeah. Okay. So I actually have the path to $1 billion. I have to do that video and decide where that video goes. But, Tobie thinks it's going back to its high, and we can't share the screen, but we're giving you the Two True podcast. Joe is asking about ZBCN with a super chat.
Oh, I haven't looked at that for a long time.
ZBCN. Zebec Network. Oh yeah, this has been in the picks.
Yeah, it has, but not in a while. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is Max. Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is clearly awake.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what it is. Okay. So, we don't know what it is.
Real world bag.
DPIN network, RWA payments.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah. It's a lot of infrastructure stuff, which is awesome. And I'm glad to see it's picking up now. I think it'll do even better. Can you give me the 3-month? Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Right? I think we're going into a handle. That looks like a cup and handle.
Right. Tobie never met a Momo move that she didn't like.
Momo. Yeah, I don't know what that means.
That means momentum. That means if it's going up, you like it to keep going up. Yeah. Joe with the super chat says, lovely. It's payroll and partnered with Ondo and XRP.
Oh, okay. Beautiful.
Okay. DC Precise says, who's going to win the Stanley Cup or the NBA championship?
Okay, I'll tell you on the next show.
Okay, yeah, that's YouTube member area, so we definitely appreciate y'all being in here. But yeah, if we're doing sports betting, that has to be behind the paywall.
Yes,
we definitely appreciate that.
And I will, just for fun, but my accuracy with sports is not quite the same as it is with crypto.
Right.
But I'm happy to look at the helmets and just tell you which one's Patriot. Patriots is
that was a long time ago.
It's like
that was
blue, right?
Patriots is blue and
with
silver.
The gold. Oh, silver.
Right. Patriots is blue and silver, and now we're into hockey.
Oh, this is hockey.
We're
I don't even know the difference.
We're into hockey and basketball in May. We don't know what team's in it. By the way, we always give a shout out to our friends in Canada. Somebody was always asking for shout outs for Canada. Poor Canada's getting picked on by the Orange Man. All right. Is there anything else?
For me, does anybody have any other questions? I'm really sorry we can't share the screen.
I have no idea what is up with that at all.
But
there are other buttons that work. Like the video button works, but screen share does not work. So thank you very much, Restream. Right? We hate you. Literally, we had a problem with Restream and said, please give us feedback. And I said, I hate you. Okay. Anyway, okay, people, that is the YouTube member, non-member live stream. Be here Thursday for portfolios.
And will we talk about hockey?
Whatever, people. I mean,
if y'all have a question,
we'll have the crypto portfolio, the hockey portfolio, the NBA portfolio. We have the ranking for the model with picks out in the June and what we
Oh yeah,
like the
y'all
most.
look in the store.
Okay.
This stuff Bill is putting out is amazing.
Right. Yeah.
I'm so impressed. It's very it's very congruent with almost everything I'm saying, but it's so much more detailed. So.
Right. So if you're not a YouTube member, first of all, if you are a member, thank you. We appreciate your business. If you're not a member, please feel free to join us. Okay.
Yeah.
And, if you don't have a dime, like the stream and comment down below.
Absolutely.
Because we can take requests, run them through, excuse me, but the model and then the other model, right? We have two models. Ha, ha, ha. Okay. So we have Patreon. She's not laughing. It's okay. Whatever. You'll know what I'm talking about. The guys know what I'm talking about.
Oh.
Okay. Join the Patreon. Again, the Patreon store will have the PDFs of the stuff that we talk about.
And
so
there's so much more coming too.
Right. So that's like an a la carte thing. You can get it, not get it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. And for anybody on this stream or in Patreon, in case any of our Patreon customers who are not YouTube members joined us for this show, but because you're doing the individual coins, which is super fun.
Right.
Right. So if there's a coin that they're interested in,
they
can
request
a coin, it in Patreon.
Right. They can request it. I just did Sui because I know Big Rich is hot to trot on that. I did Solana.
I love Sui too.
Right. Sui was a short-term roadmap.
Big Rich and I are kind of on the same
right
page.
On the same page. Okay. And then we have, we have individual coins along with 6th Street Crypto. By the way, the stuff for the Patreon members includes 6th Street Crypto. And then I put it in the store again, in case you're allergic to another monthly membership. And again, anybody doing that with us, we appreciate your business.
So beautiful.
On behalf of Tobie, we will see you Thursday.
Yes, another happy hour. More tequila. Cheers.